Part 2, God's Workshop, The Mechanics of Silence, Chapter 1, Relaxation. Enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut the door, pray to thy Father, which is in secret, and thy Father who seeth in secret shall reward thee openly. When Jesus gave these directions for prayer, he said that all should be said about the right method of prayer. Only as the personal mind is stilled and thought and attention are withdrawn from the outer world, can the consciousness enter the deep rhythm and harmony of the eternal soul. The word closet implies seclusion and exclusion. We think of it as a room by itself, a closed room without window, and with only one door for the entrance. The closet here referred to is within, the innermost chamber of the universal mind. But around this door are assembled multitudes of disturbing thoughts and negative distractions pressing their claims for admittance. Jesus said, "Shut the door." We enter the silence through silence. It can never be entered through discord, division, or confusion. In quietness and confidence shall be thy strength. Be still and know that I am God. In the silence we must be insensitive to everything but the voice within. The senses must be unresponsive to the voices of the material world. Until the physical and intellectual machinery is stopped, the inner voice will not speak. The Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. Silence begins where stillness leaves off. They are not the same thing. One may be absolutely still in body and mind and not be in silence. Stillness is only a preparation for the silence. The purpose in the silence is to quiet the intellectual voices from the outer world and to gather all one's faculties and powers into one focal point into the soul. We must empty ourselves before we can be filled. We must relinquish all intruding thoughts from the outer world by withdrawing our thoughts and attention from them. If one give attention to his thoughts and tries to eliminate them by force of will, he sets up a resistance and turns his thought outwardly instead of inwardly. He fixes his attention upon the without instead of the within, and he still functions on the surface. To shut the door, the consciousness must be directed to the within. There is never any effort in the silence. Effort is always denial of the God who is still. When the whole attention is concentrated upon the peace within, all the action of the mind becomes serene. This one thing I do. It is impossible to make the mind blank and go on living at the same time. To stop thinking is to stop living, and we cannot suspend consciousness as long as we are conscious of being conscious. Neither can we think of nothing, for to think of nothing is to think of something. In the silence we are working with intelligence, and we must meet it intelligently. We must be definite and positive to one idea at a time. Our thought should center upon the absolute without the anxiety, fear, or any sense of pressure or force. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. There are and always have been persons in whom the sense of oneness with God is uninterrupted. They intuitively communicate with him without formality of any kind. They were so aware that they live and move and have their being in him, that they were sensitized only to the world of the spirit, to reality. They have no need of the discipline that most of us must undergo before we are fully aware of his nearness. Relaxation is a discipline which one must impose upon the mind and body in order to reach the silence. The body is a complex and wonderful machine which needs decarbonizing just as a mechanical engine does. There is a vital force in every breath we take which can clean and purify the physical man. The mind affects the breathing, and the breathing in turn affects the body. We know that if our thinking is deep and calm, the breathing is slow and regular, and if we are nervous and agitated, the breathing is jerky and irregular. Right breathing stimulates perception, peace of mind, intuition, and awareness. We are living in an age of speed, and there are really few people in this hectic civilization who take time to live. They hurry from morning until night. They bolt their food and live in a veritable whirlwind. When the body rises up to condemn them, they wonder why. In an old bicycle era, there was a familiar phrase, riding on the rims. The wise man does not ride on flat tires, not only because of the great discomfort, but because it is bad for tires and expensive. Those who live on their nerves find the road of life ragged and rough. They are like yesterday's lettuce, but lettuce can be revitalized and made alive by plunging it into water. If it is allowed to remain there for a long enough period of time, it becomes firm and fresh. So it is with our overstrong and frayed body. By plunging it into the crystal water of life, one can draw from the universe a new resiliency and freshness. Through relaxation, one can become receptive to the all-pervading and renewing power of God. The body can be trained to obey the command of the mind, and by practice, you will find that the muscles will let go as you speak directly to them and give the order, relax. Assume a comfortable position. Free yourself of anything that binds or restricts your body in any way. Breathe deeply and regularly. Direct your thought to any specific part of the body that has not responded. Tense muscles inhibit free action of mind through you. Use the word peace to further the letting go of the human mind as well as of the body. Routine is more readily established if the time and place of your practice are kept the same.